Well, hello and welcome back to the Voyage of Empowerment teaser series. I have an amazing speaker to introduce you all to in just a few moments. This is that time where we get together and we talk a little bit about empowerment, we talk about leadership, we share exciting things coming up on the Voyage of Empowerment. I've been talking about this conference for almost a year now, and here we are. We're just less than 6.5 weeks away. It's like, oh my goodness, we're ready to roll. And there's a lot going on in this world in relation to empowerment. So remember the 4 empowerment steps because they will guide us on this journey together. Step one is, of course, starts with you. The whole world knows that you cannot drive empowerment without having your own remnants of where you feel empowerment is in this world. So that's why you have to take the empowerment self-assessment. You can access the self-assessment right on my website, but you could also use the fancy QR code to guide you there as well. And as you're on this empowerment journey, you'll understand that, of course, step two is to know others. That's, of course, where we learn about the differences that we have as a human, but also the differences that other people have. And that's why I went and created the Voyage of Empowerment, to be able to hear from other people who are industry leading experts. To drive empowerment faster, we have to take ourselves out of our comfort zone and get to learn about our differences. And so that's why I also created the differences assessment to help people categorize those differences in relation to privilege or disprivilege. Each one will impact empowerment differently. And so you have to build your own empowerment strategy for each of your 10 differences. That is, of course, why developing your strategy is step 3 in the empowerment journey. And so as you're navigating that differences assessment, utilize it, and it will help you to build your own empowerment plan through the leadership actions that you take as a leader. And I'll have to tell you that the empowering actions is, of course, step 4 in this process. And as you're navigating with empowering actions, you'll have to use all 10 actions to drive impacts for people. And this is where the empowerment really lives, shows up, and you track it. You have to track empowerment on a holistic level to be able to identify what the impacts are that you have with humans. And so, speaking of amazing humans, that's what gathered me in this journey of empowerment. I said, let's have a voyage of empowerment and bring in amazing people, amazing speakers with awesome work experience in history. And without further ado, let's bring in my amazing friend, Brittney, who's here. I'm so thrilled that you're joining us.
Oh, actually, I'm so grateful to be here and to be talking to all of the people that are going to be on this voyage with us and everything that we can share.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and together we're gonna just have so much fun. I can't wait. But I'm really excited for all of our viewers on the different live stream channels and those who might be watching the recording to hear a little bit more about your organization. So can you talk a little bit about that? And I'm gonna hide myself so you can have the stage.
Yeah, of course. And no, Ashley, obviously our brands are so closely aligned, with yours, been powering all those differences. And then me with PowHER, obviously, I founded PowHER in 2021, to be perfectly honest, out of frustration, because I wanted to do more, be more, have more, and really change more. So in my early 30s, I had managed to climb that traditional patriarchal dad's corporate ladder, as I like to say. And I became the only woman in a global 500 organization and the youngest. And I was able to do that through throwing a lot of darts to find out what would work and what would not work. And I was even able to 13x my own comp package in just 5 short years. And so this is how I realized that as women, as we reach positions of power, this is where we can truly influence policy. We can truly drive cultural change. And we can do that and not sacrifice our sanity. Now, I have to tell you, my climb was beyond any other challenge that I could have imagined. Oh my goodness, I constantly battled imposter syndrome. I woke up daily thinking, like many of us, I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. And worse, I don't even deserve it. So I sat in boardrooms. I was even asked to take notes, was told that I shouldn't be hidden in the back of the house of operations, that I should be front and center because I had that premium brand look. And of course, I was told I was way too aggressive, way too bold, and way too driven. So over those 16 years, I really learned firsthand what it takes to land positions of power, to negotiate comp packages, to do all of these things. And that's really what encouraged me to walk away from that very cushy corporate career where I launched PowHER. And this is where I help women build corporate careers that do bring them joy, that do bring them purpose. And guess what? A lot more money than they ever thought possible. Again, without sacrificing our sanity. And I do this with no fluff, no BS, straightforward coaching so that they can understand and learn from all the mistakes that I made and all of the things that have worked incredibly well. And so that's why I'm enjoying PowHER so much and know that it's going to obviously help everyone that is on the voyage with us and how we can learn from each other and even continue to catapult the brand. So again, so excited to be there with you.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to be there with you as well. I'm just like, we're gonna have so much fun and really help to transform the way that people look at empowerment, the way that people look at leadership conferences. I don't know about you, but have you ever been to a leadership conference like at a hotel?
Stuff.
What's that like?
Yeah.
It was like kind of like the same thing that you always go to, right? Like,
and then you always leave, for me, like deflated. Like I would go back after these conferences and I would feel like really like high for a couple weeks on everything I learned, but then it was hard to keep it going after that.
yeah. Well, leadership conferences on a cruise ship is a whole different thing, right? I mean, that's the thought about this, right? So obviously there are still, I think there's like 3 cabins left. So if someone was actually like literally trying to come on the Voyage of Empowerment and didn't figure out that they needed to make a reservation, I hate to break it to you, you might want to go ahead and execute that as fast as humanly possible. We, of course, have a litany of amazing speakers and panelists who are going to be speaking at the event. And of course, the event is being presented by Alternative Wealth Partners with additional sponsors from Asset-Based Consulting and Martha Forlines and employee resource groups for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. It's a pretty intense collective of experts. And if you're thinking about coming, there are, like I said, I think there's 3 cabins left, which is not many. Not where we started a year ago almost. But if you are planning on coming, there are, like I said, these are the benefits for attending in person. Obviously, you get a full-scale leadership conference experience. You get 5 nights in the hotel that's floating, and you're gonna get to experience Cozumel and the Bahamas, and a collective effort of amazing programming, which you can actually apply for professional development credits. And it's those professional development credits that can make a major impact. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about how you're going to be there, but definitely how you show up as well. And so you can get the tickets, you can register right on our website, but we also have virtual attendee option now, which is really kind of cool. So you can sign up. You can get I'm going to mail you the empowerment kit, like I'm sending Brittney an empowerment kit in the mail. In fact, it's funny. I literally have it right here, of course. It's right here. There's a book in there. There's a workbook in there. It's going to have keepsake stuff in there. And then it just goes right out to you. So that can happen. I will get those out to you. If you sign up for the Empowerment Conference Virtual Edition. You'll also get the Zoom link so you can join us. And then you'll be able to access all the recordings so you can watch on your own time, because we are going to be presenting most of the content on Sunday. And I know that not everybody's going to be tapping in on a Sunday, so that's something to think about. And then Tuesday will be the other big day. So those are our two conference presentation days during the 5 nights, because the other nights of the conference we're going to do other activities. There might even be empowerment karaoke in our future. So if you are looking for discounts, there are some discount codes floating out there. You can use VOE200 to save $200 off of either the in-person booking or the virtual pass, which is a really good deal because it literally makes the virtual ticket the same price as my leadership course enrollment. So you get that access, plus you get access to the conference and the materials. So take that for the opportunity to use that discount. But I'm excited to talk a little bit more about the conference and tell the people what you're going to be talking about. So I guess before we talk about that, what does empowerment mean to you?
Oh my goodness, a loaded question. Of course, I expected nothing less. Empowerment, I think it really changes depending on where we're at in life, right? I mean, if you had asked me 20 years ago what empowerment meant, what was important to me at that time is radically different than it is today. And I think empowerment is for all of us, no matter where you're at in life, at the very basic core level, is knowing that whatever is in front of you, you have the ability to get through it. Not to only get through it, but to thrive through it. That all of these obstacles, all of the adversity, all of the things that we all face every single day, having the tools in our toolbox to actually make those work for us.
Yeah, and I love that you said the word thrive. Like, to me, it's like not just moving forward, right? It's how you do it. It's navigating that. And so if I see there's some stuff in the chat, and we'll get to that in a minute, but if other people have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we'll hopefully be able to connect, especially if you're watching from Brittney's page, you will be able to see those come through, and also if you're watching from my personal page. But yeah, so this you really struck a chord with me with basically what you're talking about is a communicational method, right, around how we can negotiate, right? Can you tease this a little bit without giving the whole thing away? Because I want the people obviously to attend to get this from you in person or virtually.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And at the very foundational level, it's why I teach on this so much is no matter what we think about it, with power always comes money, and money is power, no matter where it's at. When you think of everyone in our lives that are making decisions for us on a government level, on investment level, all of these people, they all have one thing in common, and that's money. So I made it my mission over my 16 years is to make as much money as possible and not hide the fact that it is okay for us as women to enjoy money and want to make money. Because again, that's how we truly do get to positions where we can influence change on a whole different level. So I created a keynote that, depending on the audience, is sometimes titled How to Negotiate Like a White Dude. And for those that need something a little more PC, it's How to Close Your Own Gender Pay Gap. But basically what I took is because I spent 16 years in corporate America and not only negotiating for myself, because I moved roles every 12, 18 to 24 months, very purposely. So I got to negotiate for myself over and over. But because I did people strategy, I negotiated with thousands of executives. So I saw a trend where women weren't negotiating the same way as men. So I was able to take these strategies I saw from men and customize those for something that would work as a woman, because we don't negotiate in the same way, because there's certain things socially we can't say in the same way as men and get the same impact.
And that's why communication really matters. At the end of the day, you can have the best intentions, the best messaging in the entire world, but if you don't structure it in a manner that works for the audience, right? It's like, okay, this is why I call it empowering communication. And it's just interesting. It's like there's a 4-step process to that as well. And for those that know me, you know, there's got to be a process to it, or it won't get done. So what is the coolest thing that you're looking forward to be on on the ship?
Yeah, I mean, I think doing a conference on a ship in general, I think the whole feel of the audience and the mindset that they're in is going to be a game changer, nonetheless. I mean, not to mention incredible content from so many people. But I think whenever you're purposely removing yourself from that daily grind, which most of the conferences that we attend, you know, pre-COVID, of course, we were going to Vegas, we were going to New Orleans, we're going to, you know, New York, all these cool places. But it still very much felt like that daily grind was in the back of our head, or at least it was for me in every conference that I ever attended as an attendee. And then every time that I've actually spoke, I didn't have that disconnect. So I think the coolest thing that we're going to have on being on a ship is we're going to be forced to disconnect. We're going to be in the middle of the ocean, right? So it's going to allow us to be more present.
Well, we will have it. We will be providing internet, a part of your package. You do get the internet, the surf and stream internet package. That is part of that.
No, thanks for clarifying. I just gave everyone a heart attack that already bought tickets. They're like, what do you mean I'm going to be completely off the grid?
Yes. So there is that. So now, how well the internet works, that's a whole other thing. I'm hoping is going to be amazing. You know, I'm being very hopeful in this manner. But if it's not amazing, then you also have the beverage package. I'm just saying. And that could be either variety of beverage packages. So, but the most fun part for you about being on what is the actual item that you're like looking forward to? Like I said, are you going to do the surfing thing on the back of the ship? Or are you going to do the thing where you get into the rope thing with the ball and you're in there? The sky pad, that's what it is, sky pad. What are you thinking about here?
Oh my goodness. Well, as someone that has an overwhelming fear of heights, I will definitely take advantage of the drink package before I try all of those. But no, absolutely. I mean, anytime that you can get together with people like that and do like amazing things you wouldn't normally do, and that pushes you out of your comfort zone, I think that in itself is going to be so much fun, just to be with a lot of like-minded individuals. And we're all doing something that we're scared of, and recognizing even how our differences can help us support each other through it.
Yeah. So I do see that we had a question in the chat. I want to make sure we get to that. And actually it's from one of our attendees for the conference. Joel Brocht, who's an amazing advocate for so many people. But Joel asked a question about managers, is what it looks like here. How to overcome situations where one can feel very empowered to do one's job, one's mission, but management and leadership maybe does not actually empower them the way that they could. So you want to take this one?
Oh, I do. I love this one. And, you know, I'm a big advocate, and I even, you know, do another keynote that's how you can find joy in a toxic workplace. And so, and the reason I know this is because I've done it. I mean, all of us, I think at some point in our careers have worked in a workplace that didn't give us all the fuel that we needed. And we can either sit on the sidelines and really, to be, you know, perfectly transparent, hope that things were better, or we can take that action into our own hands and become powerful and get in the driver's seat. And so by a lot of things, when our leaders aren't showing up for us, or they're not empowering us the way that we need to, 9 times out of 10, they don't know what they don't know. So a great example of, I remember the first time that I had that really big executive job, and I had 26 direct reports. I'm sorry, 26 direct reports. There's no way I could empower any of them because there's simply not enough hours in the day. But I remember a team member coming to me, and she was very transparent. And obviously we had some trust. She had built that up, and she just told me, she said, Brittney, I know you have a lot going on right now, and I know you can't give us all the time that we need, but here's how I need you to show up for me. And in return, this is how I can better show up for you. And it was in that moment, even for myself, of being a people strategist, like I was the one, I drank all the Kool-Aid of empowering people long before it was trending, right?
Right.
And I couldn't even do it myself. So I think a really great way is, one is you can be a leader as an individual contributor. You don't have to have a team to empower leadership, to empower all of these things, and to be transparent with your leaders. They're human too. And what we think that they should just get, 9 times out of 10, they don't, because they don't even have a spare moment to think about it and look at it from that same view.
Yeah, that's it makes me think about how we have to work together, right? Like in this, and so hold on, that makes me think about a clip here that I want to show everyone. One moment, please.
Journey will be hard to travel up this hilltop, but together we can do it on the voyage of empowerment.
You never know where empowerment might take you, right? Because this world is a journey, right? And on the journey, you never know, right? And sometimes you have to have someone there really championing for you. I think that's probably one of the coolest things I'm really excited about is the empowerment accountability partnership that we're going to have on the ship. So, obviously we'll be doing the activities and the sessions and the keynotes on those 2 days. And then, of course, the other days, there's going to be all kinds of optional activities that people can do together to garner that connectivity. And so my people who are going to be attending online are going to be able to have an opportunity to be paired with people wherever you are in the world. And they're going to be your partner in accountability. And so who is your partner in accountability? Well, besides me. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really, who is your partner in accountability?
Oh, I think you have to have accountability partners in all walks of life, no matter who you are. And I think, especially as women, we struggle with this because we're taught literally from the time we come out of the womb that we should do it all and we should do it all perfectly. And that's impossible, right? And so anytime that we can identify exactly what it is that we need to thrive, to be our whole selves, is you have to have people that are there for you in that. Maybe that's therapy, maybe that's coaching, maybe that's a colleague, maybe that's a leader. And in my case, in that situation I gave earlier, it was my own employee that was holding me accountable, and she had every right to do just that. So I think if you map out, for me, what I would do is I would map out the top 5 things that I knew I had to execute on, no matter if it was in my professional or personal life. And I chose accountability partners to help me get there and to remind me, hey, Brittney, you're not showing up as your best self today. I just want to make the acknowledgement. How can I help you? And it worked beautifully.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you have to ask the hard question. And that's interesting. So the connection to leadership, right, is the ultimate driving force on this conference, and having a leadership conference that's deeply rooted in empowerment, right? So we're obviously we're empowering the attendees, we're empowering the entire cruise line industry because they got decimated from COVID. We're empowering the people who work in the cruise line industry, who are usually from the most marginalized people from the most marginalized countries. And then, of course, we're going to have the school that we go to in Cozumel. We're going to drive empowerment there. I have the scholarship announcements coming in the next week. So then there's the scholarship attendees who are going to be participating in the conference. So, it's like empowerment so many different ways. What is your favorite way to drive empowerment for people?
My favorite way, I think, is something that I always really search for throughout my career, specifically and in leadership. And it was having people share what didn't work and mistakes that they made. And the way that I felt so empowered when I ran across the few folks that were willing to do that is I finally felt powerful enough to say, oh my gosh, you mean I'm not alone? You mean other people that I see like on this pedestal? I remember in my career, like seeing these incredible men and women and just everything that they were doing. And I just thought they were perfect. And all that did was like fuel my imposter syndrome and feel maybe I'm not powerful. Maybe I'm not good enough. And when those people started opening up about, no, you know what? I was actually fired from a job 15 years ago. And it's because I made this mistake. I was like, it was like a light bulb went off. So I think the best way you can empower other people is to be real, to be raw, and to be authentic, because no one had a smooth climb to the top, and everyone's messed up along the way.
And can you expand a little bit more on what exactly you do and how people can connect with you a little bit too?
Absolutely. Yes. So we are an executive coach and consulting firm, and we do this directly in our flagship, our one-to-one coaching programs. We do this through group coaching programs. We have e-courses, all of those things. And the reason that we do that on such a custom specific level is explicitly female executives and those that identify as female, and believe it or not, even some men that want to really further our movement. And so to learn more about that, all people need to do is go to claimyourpowher, POWHER.com. And we're happy to see if there be a good program that would be a fit and truly make a difference.
Yeah. And also, I really like the connectivity, right, around like this claim yours. Can you talk about how that came to be?
Yeah, it really did it. I remember at one of my really low points early in my career, believe it or not, I was gaslighted severely by a female mentor. And I remember sitting in that, and to the point that I had to even seek out therapy to get through that damage. And I remember having this light bulb moment of, why are you expecting this other human being to give you power? The power's within you. And when I finally realized that I am the only person that's in control of my destiny and I can't control other people's behavior, that is really where I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now. That is where the idea of power, and we can be powerful, and all we got to do is reach out and claim it, was born.
I love it. I love it. So the session negotiate like a white dude. I'm so living for that, by the way. I cannot wait for that. Can you just quickly give your best favorite takeaway from this session that people are gonna have? Like, why do they really want to make sure that they're attending that session?
Oh, the biggest takeaway is we as women see negotiation as something extremely frustrating and cumbersome. And to be honest, most of us are afraid. What they're going to take away is how simple it is when it's broken down. And it's really such a simple thing. And it literally can save us over $2 million in our corporate careers as women.
Wow. And so I'm excited to hear about that data portion, about that 2 million and how you got that number. You're going to tell us there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. That's so awesome. It's that 2 million, of course, is it's the power part of empowerment. The power part always being the items of intrinsic value or numeric measurable items. We're going to spend a lot of time. We're going to have 5 powerful days, 5 powerful nights together. And really, there's going to be a lot of authority building exercises as well, which is the other part of empowerment, right? That gives you that construct of that I am the boss and I have the mentality necessary for this moment. Any closing thoughts that you have for us today? I know we're getting near our end time already.
Oh, I mean, I think if anyone today is on the fence on if this is for you, go ahead, take the leap with us, join us in person. Of course, we want to meet you in 3D, but if you can, at least join us virtually, because I have been part of hundreds of conferences, and I promise you this lineup, how each person is coming with their own unique perspective, is not something that you want to miss.
Yes. In person, virtual, you can use the discount coupon code. I'll flash that thing on the screen one more time. There we go. Discount coupon code is there for you. VOE 200. This has been a lot of fun together for empowerment. I'm so thrilled, and and we got to see each other just the other day. In Miami, so that was fantastic. And we're also going to tell the story at the conference around how we met.
Yes,
which is like really awesome. So I'm like totally right. That's the whole idea. This is a teaser, so we have to leave something left, right? And it's like a major empowerment kind of thought process around how we connected. So I'm excited to tell everybody about that too.
Yes. Oh,
But no, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I'm excited to see you again, and we're gonna help everyone learn how to negotiate like a white dude.
like a white dude.
I love it. All right, no, this has been great, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.